Oh! Single player tower defense, incredibly difficult, very hard. No mere mortal can beat a map as difficult as this. It requires an insane amount of skill. It is ridiculous. It is punishing. It is brutal. And what we absolutely have to do in order to beat it, if there is even a chance to beat a map as difficult as this, is to get the 1200 range, does 300 damage and cooldown only 0.5 seconds tower. But it's so hard to save for 200 gold before you actually need to spend again to deal with the boss. You can't sell. You can give towers away. Don't know exactly why you would do that, but you can't sell because you get no money if you do that. So good luck with that. If you're trying to get some money back in this game, it doesn't happen. So you have to be very, very calculated with what you build. We're going with the demon tower. I'm not even sure if I can go with the tower that slows enemies down tower. Although that should be good on the boss. I could put it over here, I reckon, and it might have enough range to reach. There's some more jank, by the way. You have to hit the mobs in the front so that the splash hits behind, because if you hit the mobs sort of like here, for example, it won't hit the one... Oh, hang on a second. They always move a bit funky there. But basically hit the mobs in the front. If you hit this one, it won't hit that one in the front, as you can see. So now you know. Now you know how to perfect yourself on this map. It's almost always worth getting the upgrade for this guy because his splash is absolutely insane. He's just really definitely worth the money for the cost, but he kind of doesn't get the boss killed well enough. He does for a while until he doesn't. So I've got to find a way to get this, but every time it almost gives you enough gold to get this, a boss spawns, and then you have to sort of spend your money again just to kill the boss. It's a vicious cycle. I'm not going to greed as good to check the 200 gold tower. I'm going to earn that right. I'm going to earn it. I don't just cheat. Even though this map is so difficult, one might have to cheat to beat it. Brutally punishing this map. That was TD Wave 4, that one. And they're all peons every time. For some reason. And they're all really, really dark. So the only way to see them is to hover the attack ground over them. And then you get fission. It should be a boss now, actually. I'm not sure if I got enough damage for him. What if I just build the slow... No, it's not yet. You see? They're cheeky peons. I feel like if I just try to see if this tower's good enough to kill the boss... Like, what's the money I need? I'm going to go with the more damage tower. And I'm going to upgrade it once. And then that will kind of give me like 60 gold left over, which, if I get through the next bunch of waves, should leave me with 200 gold. See what I mean about being really, really calculated here? You need to actually think about how much money you got now at this point, how much money you're going to have in like 5 turns time. It's a game of chess, basically. It's very complicated. So hopefully this is enough damage to get the boss down. He's almost down to half health. We've still got some range left in us. Can we finish him off? Oh, yes! 2 gold for that bad boy. And we just about reached him because I might have had like one more attack. I doubt it. So now I should be able to save up for this. Put 2 basic towers for boss? Nah, I went with this guy, the dark blue tower, because the basic towers are really trash. Although you can upgrade them for 5 gold, and then they're not so bad. But I still think the dark blue tower is probably a bit better than this one, upgraded for its gold to cost ratio. So I should be able to handle these next bunch of waves, and then I'm going to go with the 1200 range, does 300 damage and cooldown only by 0.5 seconds tower. Probably about over here. That looks good. That should be enough range by a long shot to reach everything. That's kind of more the middle. However, we don't know how long we're going to be stuck in this. And that's going to leave an annoying OCD gap if I build it like that. So I think you're going to have to man up and just put it down here. We need to know how much of a good start we get off to here. It's basically 2 gold for just killing a mob in general, I believe. Massive splash. Big value. We've almost got the 200 gold tower. Oh, one more wave. It shouldn't be the boss yet. It should be one more wave. I don't think the hotkeys work very well for this. So maybe that's something the map maker wants to address when he comes back to tackling this map. Although it might be intended to add confusion to the player. Right, we can afford the 200 gold tower now, so it's time. It's going to go all the way back here. Let's hope that's good enough to reach all the way out. But 1200 range should be. That's like 700 range, so it should easily... Oh, 301 to 305 damage, and it's very fast. Oh, look at that! The anti-boss tower. That is the bad boy right there. I think we've got a chance now. So, the trick with this map really is working out the perfect build order to execute on building the 1200 range, does 300 damage, and cooldown only 0.5 seconds tower. If you can get that bad boy down, you're going to be in a really good spot. I think I'm going to try to just save up to get another one of those, because it's going to obviously do really well at this point, early on in the game. So the more of those I can stack up, I think that's got to be the best damage for value. The tower that slows is obviously nice. It doesn't really do much damage. The slow's obviously quite useful, gives you more chances to get attacks. However, we just want the damage so we can definitely kill whatever's going to come up. I can go for the slow once I've got a couple of these. Need some tower value first. That's TD Wave 13 in the bag. There's quite a surprising amount of levels to this map. I got to like, what was it, level 25 last time? And then that boss was the one that killed me because I wasn't ever able to afford this thing. Because I didn't set up for it early enough. And then I was stuck in this spiral of massing the evil demon towers. I tried to sell, but you get no money back. You just give the tower away. I'm not even sure who you give the money to. Like, who are you giving the tower away to? Who gets it? There's no quests for this epic map. I guess the quest is finding your own path in what the map wants you to do. But it's not going to hold your hand. You're going to need to earn it. And think about every single movement you make to min-max. Which is, you know, it's good. That there's still games out there that can do that. They don't just make it easy for you. You know, you gotta do your best to work out what needs to be done. There should be a boss probably now, which makes me wonder. I reckon I still got the damage for it because this was doing such a good job on that first boss. So yeah, the bosses come out and they got like probably an extra 500 to 1,000 health, so he gets a bit further. But now we're in a really good spot. The 1200 range does 300 damage and cooldown only by 0.5 seconds tower is the tower to go for. You'd be a madman to try otherwise. As soon as we can get past this next wave, we can afford it. And then I think we can take this tower defense and beat it. If it actually does have an end. Strange icon for it, yeah, this one. That's very unusual. That's like a map editor icon. Not sure what it's for, other than pinging. It's like there's a yellow box, and then there's like a projectile coming out that way, and then like a symbol suggesting to go in this direction as well. What does it mean? What is the map maker trying to tell me with that? What's the puzzle that needs to be solved? It's an open gate? Is it? Are you sure? Oh, it's just from the zombie defense. Yeah. Doesn't necessarily mean what it means. I think it's much more complicated and in-depth than that. And that's probably what the map maker intended. TD Wave 19. So almost 20 waves through already. It's quite fast-paced. So these aren't... Oh, look at that. It looks really nice now. So these aren't as good as killing the waves as the evil demon tower, but they're so much better against single target on the bosses. So much better. Let's hope this guy's got enough range to reach out there. I hope so. He has attack ground, so if he doesn't, then you can always attack ground near the point. Ah, he does. Excellent. So that 700 range can go over, all the way over to here, and then round there as well. Give me more time to get those earth tower hits. Should be the boss next, but with 2 of these, I think we're looking really, really good now. It's taken me hours. Has it been an hour? No, it's not been an hour. It's taken me minutes to try to work out how to beat this map. But I think we might have this in the bag. Don't want to get ahead of myself, because you know anything can happen in these games. I like the aesthetic of the place, though. The layout's nice. Straightforward, but, you know, he's put some effort in. He's chucked some torches in, a few fences. The Huntress in stone statue. Looking good. I just don't know why he hasn't put, like, more effort into the looks of the mobs. This almost feels like I might want another evil demon tower, to be honest. But I would figure that, judging as the fact that I've got all the time for them to go round as well, I should have time to kill them with just these anyway. But I might go for another tower that does huge splash. I think that would be acceptable. These 2 might be hitting the same target, but when they get more health, it doesn't matter so much, because then it takes more than 1 shot to kill. Yeah, this dark blue tower actually does piercing damage. The mobs have medium armor, so piercing isn't so good against them, which is probably another reason why the basic tower struggles. We'll put down a basic tower so you can see how amazing that is. So that's 20 gold for the basic tower. 6 to 10 damage, 400 range, which is pretty abysmal. The upgrade is only 5 gold to make it go from 6 to 10 damage to 26 to 30 damage. So you're looking at like 25 gold basically to get some value from that. The 400 range is still bad.
Yes, my lord. More work. Off I go then.
There's the more damage and range than basic tower, which can be upgraded to dark blue tower, because this is essentially known as the blue tower. If a single mob makes it over here, you die. It's a very difficult tower defense. You will leak, and it will be game over. This has got 700 range, and it's very fast. I don't know if it attacks faster than this, per se. Almost looks like it might be slower. It's hard to tell with the projectiles. But that's 23 to 27. That's 26 to 30. So that's 25 gold for that. And that's 60 gold for the base form of that. So thus far, the basic tower upgraded is actually better than this. However, you upgrade this for only 30 gold. It does bump it up to like 61 to 67 damage. So then that's 90 gold for like 60-ish damage. However, this might actually be better then. Because it's 25 gold for about 30 damage, isn't it? Oh! Oh my god, was that level 25? So I basically beat it last time. I just didn't quite have enough. I had to get the 200 gold tower that had 1200 range, 300 damage, and 0.5 seconds tower. Cooldown tower. Wow. I was that close then to beating it. Pipped at the post. Single player TD. An amazing game. I'll put the link in the video description so you can try it out yourselves. Spend hours and hours playing it.